Hi there, Facebook. What a finish to the LeBron game. I'm assuming you just saw because I just finished it. This is usually before we get rolling here where I pop on our quote-unquote daughter, Hazel, our Maltese of a year and a half. Ernestine, my wife, we're just watching the end of the LeBron game. Hazel was dead asleep. She'd had enough of it because she didn't want to watch the Raptors anymore, and I don't blame her. I'd like to get them out of my sight. I'm done with them. I wish they would just call off the fourth game of this series because they are not worth even being on the same court with LeBron and company. Anyway, Hazel, dead asleep on the other recliner next to Ernestine's recliner. I was on the couch with my computer, and she just said, leave her be. So she said, leave her be. I left her be. So no Hazel tonight. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow night, but it's Saturday night. She needs a night off. And as I say, she didn't watch, so she didn't know. And I can't really blame her. So bottom line to what I just saw, get the Raptors out of my sight. I called this a sweep going in. I don't think anybody else called it a sweep that I know of. Maybe somebody did somewhere in Cleveland, but I called it a sweep because I have little to no respect for the Toronto Raptors. They're nothing but set decoration for the annual whatever round of the playoffs it is so that LeBron can get, about a week off? They're nothing but rest. They're the rest Raptors. They're the Toronto Resters. It's just absurd what's happened year after year after year. What are we up to now? I'm losing track. Let's see. It was 10 out of 12. Is that 11 out of 13? 11 of the last 13 that LeBron has beaten the Toronto Raptors. And it got so bad tonight, even though obviously Toronto hung in to the bitter end. It got so bad that DeMar DeRozan, the star, the biggest star on the Raptors, wound up with 8 points and did not play a second. I don't know if it was a second, but he didn't play for almost all of the fourth quarter because Dwayne Casey, his coach, finally just said, I've seen enough. I'm sorry. I'll go with my other guys. I'll go with Kyle Lowry, who wound up with 13-ish points. I don't have the box in front of me, but in the fourth quarter, made a couple of big threes. And it brought us down to critical play at the end where somebody was going to have to shoot the free throws that could have ended the game. So once again, right on schedule, LeBron James was losing his touch at the free throw line. And he's got his new funky delivery now, his new free throw routine where he does the big step back with the left foot, then back, and then he leans. But now he's been practicing, which is good for him. Way to go, LeBron. He's been practicing not falling across the line because in Game 2, of course, they finally called him on it, as I've been saying over and over on Undisputed. Again, you can see us 9:30 to noon Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1 Monday morning. LaShannon Sharp will be across from me raving about LeBron James. And LaShannon picked this in 6, and I picked it in 4. So his math is dwindling down. I guess he's going to have to stick with it. You know, I always stick by my guns. So I guess he's going to have to pick Toronto to win both Game 4 and Game 5, I guess, to get back on schedule for his prediction. Anyway, that was a quick tangent. Back to the play at hand. So LeBron losing his free throw motion and touch, had LeBricked a couple of them, and he's feeling a little shaky at the free throw line. So he is highest IQ in all of basketball. As soon as the shot was made, he ran to take the ball out of bounds so that he could inbounds to anybody else who could shoot the free throws other than LeBron. You would think that the best player on the planet, quote unquote, would have George Hill take the ball out of bounds to him so that he would, try to get open quickly so that 2 Raptors would have to come foul him, and he would be the one at the free throw line shooting the potential clinching free throws. So they were up 2. They needed 2 to get up 4. Game would have been over with whatever 15-ish seconds left. And it was Jeff Green, who's a very good free throw shooter, much better free throw shooter, career and playoffs than LeBron James. So Jeff Green made the first one with no problem, and I'm thinking, just end it. Just get these guys out of my sight. Please, Jeff Green. No, he went LeBrick. And here came the Raptors, as you know, the other way. And who made the shot? Was it Anunoby? I think Anunoby, who's spent the first 3 games of this series mostly guarding LeBron James. You believe in that? Anunoby, a rookie out of Indiana, a lower first-round draft pick, is guarding LeBron. So the best player on the planet, quote unquote, after 15 years in this league, as he's chasing the ghost in Chicago of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, is being guarded for most of this series by a rookie. There's been bits and pieces of DeRozan. There's been a little bit of Siakam when they bring in the bench mob, but Anunoby starts. He doesn't even really try to play much offense, and he's guarding LeBron, and it's pretty laughable most of the time. He hangs in. He does the best he can. He tries really hard, but this is cat mouse, man. And LeBron is the biggest cat. And as I tweeted, LeBron can just get to the rim anytime he wants to. I don't know why he has to show off. And he got into the thing the other night, got into the rhythm in the second half. He discovered a new love tool. He fell in love with the MJ Memorial fade away. And he got in a rhythm, and he can go hot, cold, but he can go hot, hot. And he went hot, hot, obviously, game 2 at Toronto, and he was just clowning the Raptors in the second half, shooting fadeaways, and he was just on fire shooting fadeaways. And so I tweeted just before the game to all those blind witnesses out there, warning, LeBron's history shows you that he falls in love with whatever shot it is, the three-point shot, whatever it is. He hasn't really shot that fadeaway much in his career until here just recently, but he'll fall in love, and then he'll stay in love as he falls out of love with the shot. And he's not a very good outside shooter, as we know. Historically bad, playoff-wise, from outside of the paint. And shockingly average from the free throw line. Shockingly below average for a player of his magnitude. So the point was, he did finally make a pretty big one with a couple of minutes left. He shot the fadeaway. He'd shot 2 in the first half and missed those badly, but he made one big one. That was on C.J. Miles. I give him high marks for that. But he wouldn't give up on the 3, and he missed all but one of those 3s, and he took a couple late that could have been ended plays, and he drives me crazy. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Cavaliers here because I picked them to sweep. It's my pride on the line. Obviously, I'm not a Cavaliers fan, but that's my pick, so I'm rooting for my pick. And I'm exhorting LeBron, just take it to the basket and end this thing. Get them out of our sight. They can't keep you from the rim. Go. Attack. Tear the rim down. Anunoby can't keep you from there. Ibaka is hit and miss. He's not Ibaka anymore. Even Kevin Love was having his way with Ibaka much of the night. Kevin Love had another huge game. Boy, he's playing big. What do you have, 21 and... I can't remember. Is it 16 rebounds or 13? 21 and 16, it seems like. Kevin Love, big night. Another big night. They do have a second all-star on that team playing very big. And for the moment, rendering Tristan Thompson just another guy down at the end of the bench. So, what happened? Jeff Green missed, Anunoby makes, and all of a sudden we have 8 seconds left, and I am out of my mind. LeBron, just end it. Drive it to the basket and have the guts to go stand there by yourself and just make one free throw. All you have to do is make one. Just make the first one and the game's over, and you know you got the second one in your back pocket. You can do, even you can do this, LeBron. Have the guts. Don't run from the free throw line. So what happens? They decide, which is a little odd. I guess he wanted LeBron to get a full head of steam. I think Ty Lue wanted LeBron just to go full court on Anunoby and just get up ahead of steam and just attack. And so I'm thinking, don't do what you did in those other games, like the game at Indiana. This is way back in December, where you shot a shot sort of like the one he ended up shooting, which is this sort of fall away, fade away off his left foot that hit nothing but nothing. Remember, that was the game he stepped out of bounds when he got Collison on the switch in the corner, 6'1" Darren Collison, and then LeBron blew down the baseline and stepped on the inline. but he had another chance. Or was that against the Clippers? I'm sorry, that was the Clippers game. I'm thinking the Clippers at Cleveland. He had a shot at the end of the game where this is it. This is to win the game and just attack, just to have the guts to go shoot the free throws. It just drives me crazy. Just have the fortitude. I know he doesn't like to stand there by himself with the world bearing down on him. It's a lonely place, that free throw line, with no time remaining, and you have to make one. Obviously, at the end of the regular season, he had to make 3 at Philly, and I said that was his worst nightmare. And, of course, he clanged LeBrick number 2 there, and then was forced to miss the 3rd one intentionally. They almost won it anyway. Don't get me started on the Sixers. I'll get to them briefly in just a second. But in this case, LeBron is, I think Ty Lue wanted him to get a full head of steam, full court. And here he comes, dribbling left-handed. Just attack it. Just go up on Ibaka and just try to slam it on him. He's going to foul you, as he had on the previous play when LeBron missed the free throw. Just go. And the second free throw, on the last 2 he shot, it bounced all around. I don't know how it went in, but it did. But it gets, the demons were going back in LeBron's head, and he's thinking to himself, the last thing I'm going to do is shoot those free throws, and I'm out of my mind. I'm telling my wife, Ernestine, just go. Just take it to the rim and go to that free throw line. And, of course, he fades and falls away, and he took the highest degree of difficulty shot, because this is vintage LeBron. He's been doing it his whole career. I'm going to shoot the hardest shot possible, and if it misses, everybody will say, that was virtually impossible anyway. You still got overtime. So he's in a good spot, because it's not sink or swim. It's not do or die. It's not weight of the world on LeBron. He can just fire up from anywhere, and the heart of the shot, usually in the bad old days, going back to the first go-around in Cleveland, that was the shot he would shoot from 35 feet. He would just pull up and shoot a 3, and it would just bound off the back iron or bound off the backboard. It would be a horrible miss, but he could just shrug and say, well, that's all I had. No, it's not all you had. Just go to the basket. Greatest driver of the basketball ever. I say it on Undisputed, again, 9:30 to noon Eastern on Fox Sports 1. I say it time after time, straight from my heart. Greatest attacker of the basket in the history of the game, including Michael Jordan. Best passer in basketball right now is LeBron James. Best attacker of the basket in the history of basketball. You can have anybody you want. Kobe Bryant, Oscar Robertson, I don't care. Let's go back to Elgin Baylor. Name somebody. Pete Maravich. I'm just throwing out names. But nobody, including the greatest player ever in any sport, Michael Jordan, could attack the rim the way LeBron can. He's just an unstoppable freight train. He's just bigger than Jordan was. Jordan was 6'6", 2... I don't know, he bulked up a little bit in the end. I used to see him, he used to work out at the same place. How I got to know his trainer, Tim Grover. I don't know what Michael weighed in the end. Maybe 215 or 20, maybe, but I don't think so. I'm going to say 210 to 215. What's LeBron? 6'9", 260? I mean, he's sculpted, man. Like Shannon says, LaShannon Sharp on Undisputed, 9:30 to noon Eastern, Fox Sports 1. He says, vibranium, okay? Is he on vibranium? Should they start testing for vibranium? Because he looks like he's on vibranium to me, but whatever. So just attack. LeBron, you got a rookie on you. You got this kid from Indiana who doesn't have his man body yet. Just take him right to the hole. If Ibaka comes over like it happened just, a minute before, he's going to have to just hammer you in mid-flight, the way he did, and Dwayne Casey's up there like grabbing his head like it was a terrible call. No, it wasn't. He just hammered him. It was a body foul. It was an all foul. He got him with his body, arm on arm. That would have to happen at the buzzer if LeBron just blew right by Anunoby, as he'd been doing it all game. He's been doing it all series. So he falls away and fades away to his left. And I'm not completely convinced he aimed off the glass, because he can shoot some wild last-second shots, and I'm not sure that one was aimed at the glass. He's going so fast left-handed, and the backboard is dwindling quickly as he gets to the baseline, where it's getting close to where You can't shoot it off the backboard because there's none left. That's how close it was getting. And he's going full speed, and he throws it up, and it's kind of drifting to the left. The shot's drifting to the left and just happens to catch a touch of that backboard and drop through. Is it possible he didn't call glass? You better believe it's possible. But God bless you, LeBron. It went in. That's all I know is it went in. I'm happy because I called sweep. I called it. It wasn't a lucky call. It was just a sweep because Toronto is lousy. They have no backbone. They don't have basketball character. It's a team built only for the regular season. And this will be the best thing that could have happened to LeBron and company because obviously he played the most minutes in the regular season. And going into this Toronto series, he played the most minutes through the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, it took every last ounce of LeBron James to get by Indiana because 5 minutes of LeBron didn't make it to Indiana because he had to check himself out of Game 7. I still don't get it. I'm not giving him a pass the way all you blind witnesses do. LeBron James was something going on. I think he was mentally cramping at that point because he wasn't limping. He wasn't grimacing. I didn't see any minor injury. He seemed to be walking just fine. He just checked himself out and went to the locker room. Came back, sat on the bench, missed 5 minutes of that game. This is Game 7. He missed from the 1 minute mark of the third quarter down, 4 minutes into the fourth. And by the time he stepped back on the court and they went down to the other end and Kevin Love made another shot, he left with a 1-point lead and the weight of the basketball world on his shoulders because he was in danger of losing for the first time in his entire career in the first round and being eliminated. And the NBA was on the brink of popularity elimination because you would lose the face of the NBA. And I, for one, was extremely happy that Kevin Love saved the day. He saved the league. He saved LeBron's career, legacy, and he saved the Cleveland Cavaliers by making 2 big threes and a mid-range jump shot all in that span. Kevin Love has played huge in these playoffs, and he played big today against Valanciunas. Played big against him. Big, strong, like physical basketball. I was proud of Kevin Love because there have been times I just thought he was soft. But he came to play tonight. The Cavs kind of mailed it in. LeBron wasn't at his best, but he made the shot. And all I care is it went in. All I care about is Toronto's out. And again, I reiterate, I wish they could call it off on Monday night. Monday night is just perfunctory. It's just a by the numbers game. I'm going to say it again. I still expect the Cavaliers bench mob to come to play. Rodney Hood's lost it for a while. He's going to get it back on Monday night. Jordan Clarkson made a couple of nice shots tonight. One big up and under reverse, 1-3. And they'll get some pop from their bench. Tristan Thompson will come in and give them some electricity, and they will win easily on Monday night, and LeBron will get his whatever time off that he needs. Although, now it's starting to feel like the other series is also going to be over pretty quickly. I'll be the first to admit, I picked the Philadelphia 76ers to eliminate LeBron James in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I felt real good about my pick through all 5 of the games against the Miami Heat in the first round. I thought Ben Simmons had a